Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, it's Monday. I'm back from Texas with the trailer. I've got to get the cans unstacked. I got a associate about a mile from my house that has the equipment. He's got overhead cranes and stuff, and I've got a skid steer, but skid steer doesn't have the reach, and once you get so much weight overhead on that thing, it wants to tilt over, so it just won't do it. So I did have a plan to build a berm, tilt it up, and just kind of set it down on the berm. But the way they interlock, I would have to cut the tabs off to get them to slide, which I have no problem with, because I'll never use them again. I don't plan on stacking them and transporting them, but it's just so much easier. Just hook the trailer up, drive down to my buddy's spot, and back in this bay, and just chain it up and lift it out. I'll drive back to the house, drop off the first bin, and go back, grab the second bin, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that's the plan for today. And then today I've got to research phone numbers. I'd like to have another number to tie to the business. I want something that goes along with my business name, which I've not settled on 100%, that I'm going to use as the face of the business when I'm just generally speaking, and what I'm going to put on the bins as far as rental. I haven't come to a complete decision on that. This business that I already have in place is called L7 Cleaning and Maintenance. So I'm gonna go with something like L7 Rents, or something like that. Not 100% sure, have not landed on. So anyway, the phone number, it'd be nice if I could get something like that, the name, L7 Rents, or L7 Dumpster Rental, or something like that, that ties into the number, so you could actually just literally dial that verbiage and ring me. So that, and I gotta lock in a website, and then that'll come, that'll be secondary. But today's goal is to get the bins unstacked, and call and get some quotes for commercial insurance. And we insured the trailer before we left Texas there at Flat Rock Trailers, so I had insurance rolling out just in case something happened. But the commercial insurance that would cover me while I'm using the actual truck for work, that's what I'm interested in, because the bins need to be covered, the whole shebang. We just covered for the amount that we paid for everything, and the bins in the trailer, and the total package price. So not too expensive. I think it was $17 or something like that for the month. We're gonna switch that over either with my insurance company that I've been with for years, or because they do offer it. He did pitch that to us, but I was not ready to do that. So I'm hoping to, on some level, within the next week, just locally, because I've only got 2 bins. So the goal is to work in the area I live in, the surrounding cities, 1 or 2 of them, and go from there. Also I need to contact DRS and get that going. I know that takes them, I think, about a month to get everything going. But again, I might slow drag that because I want to test the waters. Again, this is a side hustle to a side hustle. So I'm on my way to my Monday through Friday right now. So that's primary. And then I have a secondary, my first side hustle, which is rental properties. So maintaining those, You know, sometimes I got to get off work and go fix a leaking toilet or something like that, replace the O-ring, a gasket, whatever. Microwave or God forbid a water heater. I've already done that once this year. So, but yeah, just simple stuff like that. Yeah, they pretty much take care of themselves. But that's side hustle number 2. This is side hustle number 3. I'm just gonna test the waters and see what it does. And I don't have high expectations. I'm not watching guys on YouTube thinking, well, man, I can make, $500,000 a year, $250,000 a year, $600 or $6,000 a month. My expectations are not there. I'm more realistic. The goal is for the trailer to recoup its money that it cost, and B, make a little money, and be more on the passive income side of things. If it does $3,000 to $4,000 a month, I'll be overly satisfied. If it does more than that, to me, that's just icing on the cake. But right now, the goal is for it to pay for itself and put a little money in my pocket. I have a 5-year plan that I'm working on, and this trailer is part of the 5-year plan to accelerate that 5-year plan. Again, with the real estate game that I got going on. My ultimate goal is to purchase my first multi-family unit. So I'm shooting for 4, 6 or 8 unit apartment complex. Because to me it's important for myself and my wife to put ourselves in a position to make sure that our kids, we leave something to our kids, and start that generational wealth process. Initially, I just wanted to own several homes, leave one home to each child. But my ambitious nature, I want to own homes. I kept thinking, no, I'm just going to keep going with the houses, but I watched, and forgive me for bringing his name up. I know he can be polarizing to some people. Grant Cardone, and he made a statement that stuck with me, and he said he had bought his first house, and he looked at it as an asset. But he said the minute the lady moved out of the house and he had to cover the mortgage on his own, it became a liability. So when you own a property and it only has one door on it, it's great while somebody's in there. But when you got to cover the mortgage, yeah, he's absolutely right. It turns into a liability. Now you've got 100% of the cost, because if depending on the market. Now I was fortunate. I bought when the market's low, but depending on when you buy, if you buy in a market like right now, you're not going to be able to rent the house for not much more than you pay on the mortgage. So I'm sure there's some opportunities out there, but it's for your risk versus reward is not a lot. Yeah, you own the house and it's building your credit and your assets are going up, but to me it's not an asset till it's paid for. So I'm trying to have in the next 5 years, I'm trying to outright own at least 2 homes. I've crunched the numbers on many occasions, and if this plan works, it's 1,000%. But yeah, back to my goal is to leave each one of my children a paid for home. And like I said, that was just the original thought process. And then I started thinking, after listening to that Grant Cardone, I started thinking multifamily, man, that's going to generate a lot more money a month. And it doesn't matter if the economy is doing good or bad. Rental properties do well. People that lose their homes still need somewhere to stay. So they can't buy, so they got to rent. So Anyway, that's my process. But yeah, if this thing turns into something else, if it spreads its wings and stretches out, I'm sorry about the jiggly camera mount. This camera mount sucks. Bear with me for a second. Unfortunately, this is a very rough patch of road here. Lots of semi trucks. They really need to come through and delete this asphalt and pour some nice solid concrete for about 2 miles in each direction of that off ramp. That'd be great. Anyway, yeah, just the multi-family properties is a goal. We want to make that happen. So we're gonna get these houses paid for and just keep chugging along. And yeah, I want to retire. I want to retire myself well before 65 and not work a job. I just want to manage my properties and go from there and bring my kids in on it, especially my 2 boys. And yeah, so I want to build that generational wealth, and I want to leave something for my kids. Unfortunately, my father passed away, and that taught me a lot walking through that process. When he passed away, it wasn't a surprise because it was cancer. It was a surprise to me that he had cancer because he hid it from us. He was living in Texas at the time. But yeah, when he passed away, he left me some tools and stuff that he accumulated over the years. But really, he left me debt. I had to cover all the expenses for his burial, transporting the body, the 2 funeral homes, one to get it prepped and get to the airport, one to pick it up and get him ready for the funeral. No regret on any of that. It's just that I want to make sure I leave my kids on the positive, on the plus side of things. Just you know, I got to spend the last few years of my dad. Well, I got to spend the last few years of his life, you know, with him, and I would not trade that for the world. I am so grateful and lucky that he did manage to make it here to Phoenix, and I was able to spend time with him. But yeah, I had a few boxes in the garage, his old work truck, and the debt. It took me, at the time, I wasn't making a whole lot of money. We was in our first home, I think about the 4th or 5th year, and you know, we were still, you know, trying to spruce the house up, and you know, just doing some painting to make it our home, not a house. And yeah, it wasn't a lot of just extra money laying around, and I was actually starting another business at the time as well. I had a janitorial service, but yeah, it just it took me almost 2 years to pay for that, for the funeral services and everything that entailed. Again, I would not trade it for the world, but I'm definitely going to leave my kids on the plus side of things. I want to make sure that you know, it all goes into a trust. I want to make sure that nobody sells anything, and I want to make sure that at least it's passed down to my grandkids, because you know, your number one expense in life is your mortgage, your rent, whatever situation you're in. So if I could leave my kids, you know, remove that from the equation, and they can go to school, or my grandkids can go to school and get an education, that's my goal. Again, generational wealth. You know, it's not on the grand scheme of things, it's not, you know, wealthy. It's having a paid for home, but that's something that a lot of people will never achieve. So it will give my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, it will give them a leg up on their generation, because they will have a starting point, a springboard, so to speak. So anyway, I won't be around to see all that happen for the most part, but for the next 2 generations, yeah, I'll be there. for my kids and my grandkids. Hopefully I see some of my grandkids as well. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna get off this thing. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.